Certain countries are using terrorism as an instrument of state policy. The international community must isolate and expose those countries that harbor terrorists. Certain countries are using terrorism as an instrument of state policy. Such an approach has the potential to affect cooperation in multilateral platforms, including at the SCO. The international community must isolate and expose those countries that harbor terrorists. Thank you, Mr. President. At the outset, I would like to congratulate you for organizing this meeting on an important subject of cooperation between the United Nations and regional and sub-regional organizations, with a specific focus on CSTO, CIS, and SEO. I also thank the briefers for their useful insights. Chapter 8 of the UN Charter ascribes a special role to the regional organizations for dealing with matters relating to the maintenance of international peace and security. In fact, the Article 52 of the UN Charter encourages settlement of disputes through regional arrangements or by regional agencies. Regional and sub-regional organizations have time and again shown how important their role is in the maintenance of international peace and security. The world order that we inherited following the Second World War has seen complete transformation. Similarly, the threats that member states face with when United Nations was founded 79 years ago have also changed. The contemporary security challenges that we as member states face now is not limited to territorial or political disputes, but transcend physical and political boundaries. In today's globalized world, terrorism, drug trafficking, transnational crime, climate change, the security implications of new technologies and pandemics are transnational in nature. To face such diverse challenges, we need coordinated and concerted actions across borders. We believe that enhanced cooperation between the United Nations and regional and sub-regional organizations will be a determinant factor in successful resolution of conflicts. Today's meeting, focusing on cooperation between the UN and CSTO, CIS, and SCO, is therefore very timely. In this context, we note the ongoing cooperation between the UN and these organizations based on UNGA resolutions. We also acknowledge the work of UN Regional Center for Preventive Diplomacy for Central Asia. We also note with appreciation that 2024 marks 30th anniversary of CIS becoming an observer at UNGA. India shares deep civilizational ties with the people of Central Asia. The diplomatic relations between India and Central Asia countries, including CSTO members, have completed 3 meaningful decades. On this occasion, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi hosted the first ever India Central Asia Summit in January 2022. The meeting was attended by 3 CSTO members, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan, as well as Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. The summit was symbolic of the importance attached by leaders of India and Central Asian countries to a comprehensive and enduring India-Central Asia partnership. India attaches great importance to SCO for peace, security, stability, and economic development in the region. This was evident from India's successful presidency of SCO in 2022-23. India's priorities in SCO are shaped by Prime Minister's vision of Secure SCO. Secure stands for security, economic cooperation, connectivity, unity, respect for sovereignty, territorial integrity, and environmental protection. India has also consistently advocated respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity for connectivity and infrastructure projects. Recognizing the centrality of Central Asia to SCO, India has prioritized interests and aspirations of Central Asia. India accords high priority to the consolidation of trust in the security domain within SCO, as well as strengthening of ties with SCO partners on the basis of equality, respect, and mutual understanding. Excellencies, when we talk about international peace and security, you will agree that terrorism constitutes one of the most serious threats. We must therefore shun double standards in our fight against terrorism. Certain countries are using terrorism as an instrument of state policy. Such an approach has the potential to affect cooperation in multilateral platforms, including at the SCO. We must reaffirm our resolve to fight terrorism in all its forms and manifestations, and we must crack down on all forms of support to terrorism, including its financing. There is a need for full implementation of UNSC resolution and targeted sanctions on terrorist individuals and entities to counter terrorism effectively. In this regard, the leaders of SEO agreed in the recent Astana meeting with a declaration that was adopted on 4th July that the international community must isolate and expose those countries that harbor terrorists, provide them with safe haven, and condone terrorism. Similarly, we should also take proactive steps to prevent the spread of radicalization among our youth. The joint statement on the subject of radicalization issued during India's SEO chairmanship in 2023 symbolizes our shared commitment in the fight against radicalization. In the backdrop of increasing regional conflicts and with new and complex security challenges, the SEO regional anti-terrorist structure is playing a significant role in strengthening cooperation among the member states. We need to further strengthen the role of SEO RATS in the fight against the three evils of terrorism, separatism, and extremism. And in this regard, the Program of Cooperation for 2025-23 approved at the Astana Summit is a welcome move. India is also actively contributing to the discussion on setting up a universal center in Tashkent. Mr. President, in the spirit of our cooperation and support to the Central Asian countries region, India has offered $1 billion line of credit for priority developmental projects. India is also providing grant assistance for implementation of high-impact community development projects for furthering socio-economic development in the countries of the region. We have created India Central Asia Dialogue Platform for strengthening cooperation between India and Central Asian countries. The signing of contract to develop Chabrar port in Iran recently is a testament of our commitment towards realizing the potential of the place as a connectivity hub for Afghanistan and Central Asia. The developments in Afghanistan will have wider ramifications to the Central Asian region, particularly the positive growth of international terrorism and drug trafficking emanating from Afghan territory. UNSCR 2593 reflects the collective approach and expectations of the international community. Mr. President, let me conclude by reiterating our strong support for cooperation between the UN and regional organizations. We believe that this partnership is inevitable for responding collectively, coherently, and decisively to effectively prevent, manage, and resolve violent conflicts and promote peace and development.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.